Yo, what's good, people? Today I'm going to be talking about whether I think Raven / Master Raven are going to be in Tekken 8. If we look at usage rates in Tekken 7, Master Raven is not really used too much, but I think she has very good representation in the tournament, space. There are a lot of, I'm talking about my own region here, so there are a lot of high level Raven players that have done a lot of stuff on the world stage. The Asian Ravens, the American Ravens, they're all doing really well. So Raven, I think, is a very highly represented character in the tournament space. Not so much on a casual level, just because of how Raven is and how unique and unorthodox she might play, or he, if you play in older games. But if we look into the character and the story of Tekken, into Raven's involvement in the Tekken story isn't really like, I mean, they're not the poster characters of the game. They don't really have like too much involvement in the main story. I know that Raven was heavily involved with Lars and like aiding him, and he's a spy and he works for the United Nations and stuff, and he's in the I think it's like called the Secret Agent Division, and so is Master Raven. Master Raven is his higher up, so she orders him. So if we take a look at Master Raven, I think Raven is going to be in Tekken 8 just because of how unique the character is, and like I said, they have good representation at a high level. But I also think there is a chance that male Raven could return, because I think his status was like considered dead or missing. But Master Raven says that he needs to be retrained in the end of her story, or the end of her let's just call it a story. So her story, the end of her story, she's like, Raven needs to be retrained, blah blah blah. So that kind of confirms that he's still alive, if that makes sense, because they wouldn't put that in the game. Because remember, they put everything in intentionally, and this is a canon game at the end of the day. Like last game, I think Tag 2 was not canon, so anything in those endings was up for interpretation. It wasn't really canon, but this game is canon, and so her saying that he needs to be retrained could be a sign that like he's alive and he could return. So there's two Ravens, but the way they do the Raven ranking, so the Raven itself is a code name, but Raven is kind of a rank in the Secret Agents Division in the United Nations. So that's the organization that they work for, and so Raven itself is a rank. So Master Raven is just a rank, is just a code name, a position. So even if Master Raven is removed from the game, there's always going to be unlimited Ravens, basically. There's always going to be a Raven. So I think they did that well in keeping them in the game, and I think they have a high chance of being in the game purely because from Tekken 5 all the way to Tekken 7, they've been in every game. Tekken 5, Raven was introduced. He was in Tekken 6. He was in Tag 2. And now I'm saying that Tekken Tag 2 was not canon, but after Tekken Tag 2, he was replaced with Master Raven. So I'm not sure why they did that. I'm not saying that I don't like Master Raven. I love Master Raven. I like Raven. I like both of them, to be fair. So if one of them comes back, that's a win. I just want one of them to come back at least. What they could do, I guess, is like bring Raven back as with Master Raven's moves and kind of revamp Master Raven and make her a completely separate character, completely different. That would be cool as well. I would play both of them if they did that. But I really want Raven / Master Raven to be in the game, just because obviously, they're my main characters. I really think they're cool, they're unique, they have good representation. I think she has a good chance. I don't think she's like absolutely guaranteed to be in the base roster, but I think she has a good maybe 80% chance of being in the roster itself. And if she's not in the roster itself, she'll definitely be DLC or he, because I think, I don't know, man, they're just too unique, they're just too unique to not be in the game. And it's telling that they're in every Tekken since Raven was introduced, you know what I mean? So they always have representation from all regions. It's not just like, okay, cool, Raven's a popular character in EU. No, she's a popular character in the US. She's a popular character in like the Latin American countries. She's a popular character in Europe, Asia, like all over the place. So I think she has a good chance of being in the game. I really wanted to be in the game. But that was all for this video, guys. Peace.